Good morning. I am going to do something that I've never done before, and that is I'm going to read a book out loud. And I just posted about this particular book, Your Words Create Your World, in my last video. I actually called it Your Worlds Create Your Words, or World, or whatever, but I messed it up a little bit. But it's Your Words Create Your World. It's Harnessing the Spiritual Power of Everyday Speech by Michael R. Matthews Sr. If you want to get the book, this is what it looks like. It's not super long, it's a couple hundred pages. But what I want to do is I just want to read it out loud. And, some people might be interested, other people maybe not. You don't have to listen, watch, whatever. I'm a fairly decent reader, but I might stumble a bit here and there, so bear with me. I'm going to go over what the table of contents is, and then I'm going to I'm going to do the introduction, and then I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to break this up because, again, I've never done this before. So depending on how long it takes me and how long each of the things go, I might break it up by chapter. I think I'll do the introduction first, and depending on how long that takes, maybe add in some of chapter 1, or maybe I'll just do clean breaks, right? So I'm going to start just by reading you the beginning. Okay, so your words creating your world. Harnessing the spiritual power of everyday speech. Or harnessing this, oh my gosh, like I said, sometimes I just can't read. Your words creating your world. Harnessing the spiritual power of everyday speech. I just found a typo. Your words create your world. Your words creating your world. Look at that. I could have been an editor. Okay. Table of contents. Introduction. Your words are creating your world. Chapter 1. The invisible threads of language. Your everyday spells. The science behind the spirituality. Disposable people and disposable words. The art of conscious communication. Transforming negative prayers into positive intentions. The inner dialogue, the power of forgiveness and empathy, creating your reality through intentional speech, a world reimagined, your words, your legacy, and okay, that's it. So there are 10 chapters and then a conclusion. I'm going to go ahead and read the introduction. If you want to do about the author and preface, buy the book. It's not expensive. It's like $15. Okay. Introduction. Your words are creating your world. I didn't always understand the power of words. For most of my life, I thought of speech as noise, just the stuff people say to fill the space between silence. Growing up with ADHD and dyslexia, words often felt like enemies, tangled and elusive. I failed grades, struggled to read, and felt labels by the words others carelessly hurled my way. Slow, lazy, troublemaker. I believed those words. Not because they were true, but because they were repeated with such conviction. Words built the walls of my early world, and I didn't yet know I could choose a different architecture. Years later, after a vehicle accident left me disabled and unable to continue my decades-long career as a jeweler, I found myself face to face with silence again. This time, it wasn't in the classroom, it was in my life. My hands, once precise and practiced, could no longer hold the tiny tools of my trade. My body hurt, my mind raced, I was angry, lost, and unsure of what came next. I could have stayed there, in bitterness and victimhood, but something unexpected happened. I started writing. With the help of AI and text-to-speech software, I turned my curiosity into creativity. I wrote my first book at 62. Within months, I had published over 100. The more I wrote, the more I noticed something subtle but profound. The tone of my language was changing the way I thought, and the way that I thought was changing the way I felt. It was as if my words weren't just reflecting my reality, they were creating it. Every word is a prayer. It took me a long time to realize that every word is a kind of prayer. Whether you believe in God, the universe, energy, vibration, or simply the psychological power of suggestion, the truth remains. Our words carry intention. They go out into the world, settle into the hearts of others, and ripple through the unseen fabric of reality. And just like prayers, words don't disappear after they're spoken. They echo, they imprint, they create. Think about it. What do we say in moments of frustration? God damn it, you idiot, I hate this. They aren't just casual complaints. They are curses in the truest sense. Words meant to wound, to condemn, to release negative energy into the world. And we do it without thinking hundreds of times a day. This is so true. Now imagine it. Instead of defaulting to frustration, we practice reverence. What if our language was infused with awareness? What if we replaced God damn it with God bless? Not because we've mastered our tempers, but because we've remembered that our words have power. Powers to heal, powers to help, power to build instead of break. This book is a reminder of that power, and more than that, it's a roadmap to reclaiming it. Language, the spiritual tool you've been using all along. Speech is sacred, whether we're whispering sweet words to a child or arguing with a stranger in traffic. We're engaging in a deeply spiritual act. The breath that carries our words is the same breath that animates life. Every syllable is charged with intention, emotion, and energy. The ancients knew this, indigenous peoples knew this, even modern science is catching up. Quantum physics suggests that observation affects reality, that particles behave differently when we look at them. If that's true, then how much more do our words, verbal expressions of attention, affect the world around us? Oh, my Fred is back there. We are speaking reality into being, moment by moment. We do it when we speak over our children, our partners, ourselves. We say things like, you always mess up, or I'll never get this right, or that's just how life is. We think we're stating facts, but we're actually casting spells. We are sealing our fate with our own voices, not realizing that every sentence is shaping the path ahead. But here's the beautiful thing. We can change the script right now, today. The power of speech to heal or harm. You may have heard the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's a comforting lie we tell ourselves to feel strong, but we all know it's not true. Words do hurt. Some of the deepest scars we carry aren't physical, they're verbal. A parent's cutting remark, a partner's cruel criticism, the absence of affirmation when we needed it the most. But if words can hurt, they can also heal. A well-timed I believe in you can change a life. A sincere I'm sorry or I apologize can mend a heart. A simple thank you can shift the energy in a room. This is the power we wield every day, often without realizing it. This book invites you to start realizing it. This is not about perfection, it's about presence. Let me be clear. I'm not writing this from a mountaintop. I'm not some monk in robes who never swears or loses his temper. I'm a regular guy who has said a lot of things I wish I could take back. I've lashed out. I've muttered curses under my breath. I've hardened my heart when I should have softened my tone. This book isn't about pretending we're perfect. It's about practicing presence, something we all could do a little better with. It's about pausing before we speak, listening before we respond, asking ourselves, how much more is there? I don't know if I'm going to make the 10-minute mark. It's about pausing before we speak, listening before we respond, asking ourselves, is this world building or breaking? Is this word building or breaking? Is it cursing or blessing? Is it something I want to echo into the world? It's also about grace because we're going to mess up. We're going to say things in anger, in fear, in exhaustion. That's okay. What matters is that we're willing to become more aware, willing to repair what we break, willing to learn a new language of kindness, of power, of life. What you'll discover in this book. This book is divided into 10 chapters, each exploring a different facet of the spiritual power of everyday speech. I'm going to need to pause here, and I'm going to extend, and I'm going to start a new one, and I'm going to go straight into chapter 1 when I do that.